Welcome to episode 146 of We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
And I am Stevie Wildcard.
And every week, Stevie Wildcard and I get together and we do our best to overcome our various issues and obstacles, and we try to get something done. Most recently, we've been working on a supernatural action horror comic book called Deathless. Steven, how are you doing this week?
Went for 1 in 6, or one final page and 6 roughs. Got half in 4 roughs, which is pretty solid. It's a failure. You can go ahead and just judge the crap out of me, but I did get 4 entire roughs done, meaning there's only 2 pages that need to be roughed in the entire issue.
I'll tell you. So every week we get together and we talk about, what we got done this week, and then we jump forward. We do all these like silly segments. We talk about the things that like go on in our brains and in our lives and in our hearts. And Steven, I'll tell you what happened in here. So like this week, you shared these roughs with me, and my whole body was like, this is the best book we've ever made. I was like, yes, we're doing it. We're going to be famous, Steven, famous. And it was like, I was so excited when I saw those roughs. I was just like, this book is actually cool, and I was so
there's some intense action sequences in those final pages. The 2 pages I didn't do were the monotonous pages, like not monotonous, but like
every page is a winner. It's oops all hits, Steven. It's oops all bangers in this one.
Absolutely. 1 page, but like what I'm talking about. The 2 pages I'm talking about. But I especially jumped ahead.
Pages when I wrote like Douglas twiddles his thumbs. He gets on his phone. He checks his phone in the middle of a battle. He's like, "What's going on Twitter today?"
It's just checking my alerts. Okay, sometimes my list.
If I don't check these notifications, they get out of control. Okay,
so fast, so fast. But I did jump ahead and get to do the last page because I had like a sudden tinge of inspiration, and I'm so happy the way that rough came out because it's like exactly what I was imagining it, like that sequence looking, and I'm so excited for that.
It looks so good. So noticeably, I didn't say how I was doing yet. So anyway, so this week it's going to be a segment episode, segment heavy.
Anthony's been distracted.
I generally had a weird week, and I was just pretty distracted, and I didn't get my stuff done. But I'll tell you, this happens to me almost every other week when I realize like, oh, I'm about to have like a lot of time, so I'll do it then. You know what I mean? When I'm like, so I'll tell you, like, usually at the end of every episode we say what we're gonna do, but this week Atlas goes with his mom, and I also have off work.
The wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yes. So I also have off work, so I'm gonna catch up very well. Like I'm gonna get a lot done. Not to mention, Steven, I'll tell you, in July, I took off a solid week specifically to spend time with Atlas, but specifically to do this freaking book because
because that should be about the finalization, right? I mean, that's like not only just the book, but probably the finalization of the shirts, everything else we got to do. So
I mean, that's it's like mid-July, I think, like July 12th. I took off because I was just like, I'm gonna need this time, and because like right now it's fine. We've been doing this thing that we do where it's like we try our best, we get distracted, things happen, life gets in the way, but like I need to make sure I carve time,
But like we said before, man, you've gotten a lot of the pages. You've gotten like the first half colored, or just over the first half of the book colored. So I'm gonna have plenty of things to shade, and even if you miss the mark on flatting a few pages, once I'm shading, I'm sure you're going to jump on the flats more so. And,
for sure.
And then just like last time, it's even if I get caught up to you and I start flatting, it's not a big deal because you can start working something else. It's
not. I can use a letter. And
letter too. I mean, it's going to go so quick. So I'm not worried about it.
It's going to be awesome. I basically did fail. Anthony's a failure. Look at him go every week. He's failing like nobody knows. He's the best failure in the world.
He's the fairest failure failed.
So I didn't do that. I didn't do so hot this week. I did have a really good date, virtual date with my girlfriend now, Steven. I have a girlfriend.
Oh, official?
It's official. I did it. I fooled something, kid. I didn't fool anyone. She knows, she sees the podcast and she's like, I know what he's like. He's goofy. And I was like, yeah, I also look like a noodle person. She's like, I like it. And I'm like, okay.
You know, my favorite kind of food is noodles.
Actually, okay. So I asked her during the date, we were like asking weird questions and stuff. And one of them was, I was like, okay, what if you could replace human body hair with any substance at all, what would you replace it with? And she said noodles. And I was like, cooked or uncooked? I was like, it's so interesting.
Human beings become pasta porcupines.
Pasta porcupines, and then like, yeah, if you put some hot moisture in there, you can style it a little bit. Maybe I was like, you can color it with various sauces. When you get older, you're like, oh, I need some Alfredo in here, But I thought that was a really good answer.
Is that an Alfredo? That's an Alfredo.
Alfredo. Oh, I do have an Alfredo I have a couple Alfredos now.
Did we just name gray hairs Alfredos? Because that's pretty awesome. That's it. That's it from now on. The colony members, gray hairs that you find on your body are now called Alfredos.
They're Alfredos. So Steven, we're getting into it. So everyone, if you're not familiar with our show, this is a brand new day in the colony. We're starting fresh, and we want to give you a little taste of all of our segments, or at the very least, many of our favorite segments. Steven promised you last week that we were going to have a cacophony of segments, a cornucopia of segments, and here they are. We're just gonna spoil you with segments right now. I'm gonna say segment 17 more times, so take a shot every time I say it, so we sound funny here. Okay, so starting off, we like to do a segment every once in a while. We're on social media, and sometimes you get DMs from people you don't know. And you kind of have to do that weird social math of like, is this something I should respond to? Is this a real person? Is this a company? Is this a robot? Is this a scammer? What's going on? And you try to do that math. Most of the time I get these and I'm like, oh, this is a scammer. I got this. I'm going to create like a narrative. I'm going to be funny about this. Go look at our previous.
Those Gambians will never know what hit them.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But you can see some of our previous episodes in which we perform these funny skits that are actual conversations with scammers and robots and these sort of things. Now we're going to do one of these tonight. Okay. But this one I will say, it's one of those situations where I was like, this isn't a robot. It's not an AI. It's definitely a person. I can't tell what their intention is, and it's getting weird. So I was like, okay, there's probably going to be more to this, but for now, I'm going to say this one is called, it's an Anthony Dates Robots.
Anthony Dates Robots.
The Where Is Your Bot Tonight edition.
Ooh.
Okay, so let's pull
Where is your bot tonight? I hope it is a gentleman. Hoping it's based off of Chat GPT and not something else.
So I will be playing the role of myself. And Steven, would you mind playing the role of
Sepsayas?
Sepsayas?
So
Sepsayas messages me, okay? Sepsayas has 0 followers. And
very clear,
and is also following 0 people. I don't understand why they just opened this account this month. So here's the thing. I am naturally a suspicious person, especially since I've been posting these publicly. And some people sometimes try to either troll me or like try to like sneak in there and be like, oh, I'm gonna get on there. I'm gonna get on his Twitters or whatever. I don't know, but it's ridiculous enough and questionable enough that I'm like, I need to present you all with this. So this is the Anthony Dates Robots. Where's your bot tonight? All right, Steven.
I wish you all the best of the new week.
Thank you. I'm definitely going to need all the luck I can get. Are you competing?
Compete?
Oh, I thought you were one of them.
One of the members there?
Who are you? Who sent you?
Where are you from, friend? No one you sent me.
I sent you? From the future? Future me cannot be trusted.
Where are you from?
The present? Well, I guess I'm from the past, but I live in the present now. Sometimes I visit the past, though.
I'm making friends, not what you think.
You? Like building them? Are you Skynet?
Like a hot dog.
You're friends with a hot dog?
Yes, I am its owner.
Where is it from?
He comes from your private place.
So did you make this account specifically to message me?
I wanted to use it to make friends. Why do you say that?
You just told me that your friend is a hot dog that you own, and it comes from my private place. There are 2 reasons to say that sentence. 1, you're trying to name the latest Fall Out Boy song. Or 2, you're talking to someone who's trying to troll you.
I wonder what you're testing me for. There is no basic trust between people. You are too dark. Philosophical on you.
Yeah. So I write, sure there is. Not between anonymous strangers on the internet. That would be absurd.
Do you know the famous song by Nicholas Zausi?
So I say no.
I thought you knew everything on earth and half and half. That line got me for some reason. I thought you knew everything on earth and half in heaven.
Are you still trying to name Fall Out Boy songs?
We need to cover every single one of these songs and make it a Fall Out Boy song.
Oh, yeah.
I do not know him. These are very simple. Don't you have Google?
No, I only had a hot dog and you stole it from me. Also a Fall Out Boy song title.
Fred, you were very funny. Can give a contact information. Do you mean to say that I am very talented?
Are you looking for an agent?
I'm not going to eat you.
Why? What is that? That's why I was like, okay, is this a real person who's like seen these, or is this a troll, or like what is happening here? You know?
I'm not going to eat you. If you think I'm cheating on you, just black me out. I'm sincere. What to represent?
You're a natural poet.
Why do you say I am Nigeria? What you say is what?
Did you just compose that yourself? Can I get it tattooed on me, or is it spoken for?
You can even tattoo it on your forehead. It is true that I am talking nonsense. Don't move. Give up your WhatsApp.
So why are you stalking me?
You have your own adsorption, ADSORPTION function attracted by your charm.
Absorption function. Can I squeeze that sponge and get rid of the creepy ones?
If you're a SpongeBob SquarePants, I don't think you have a problem.
Why are you obsessed with me, though? There are billions of people on the planet.
Didn't I just say that you have an attractive function?
How do I get it to not attract you?
It's easy. I need your contact information. And I wouldn't be attracted to you on Twitter.
For what purpose?
I think you're weird. Can't I have no purpose?
You want my contact information, but have no purpose.
Why should there be a purpose? What can I fool you? You think I'm lying to you? You can always delete me. You've been too defensive from the beginning until now.
Lying about having a hot dog friend that you got from my private parts? Never. No way. You? No.
What are you talking about?
Are you the same person I was speaking to in the beginning of this conversation? Are there two of you? Does one always tell the truth and one always lies about having a private placed hot dog friend? Also, the name of a Fall Out Boy song. But yeah, so I don't know where.
So my thought is this: if I don't think it's a person just because of the typical WhatsApp like transitions, the contact information pursuits. Although that could just be someone trying to hit someone's.
Yeah. One of my thoughts is they're using it's someone knowingly or otherwise, but like someone using a translator to figure out what I'm saying, because like the Nigerian thing was a little suspicious where, you know, I was like, you're a natural poet or whatever. And they're like, why did you call me Nigerian? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, did you mess something up in a translator? Like, how did this happen? You know, but I don't know where the hot dog thing came from. I don't know where, like, that was what does this person want from me and why?
My only thought is that like, they're like talking to each other. Like, have any of you tackled the great Anthony? Because like, we have sent so many and they've all failed. Like, and someone just walks in with a translator and is just like, I got it. And then like, this is the result.
That's it. This is it. This is like, I mean, it's kind of like the T1000 though, because like it is like, okay, is this a person? Is this like, do they really want WhatsApp, or is it a person who's pretending to want me to go on WhatsApp because they've seen me do this before and they know that the scammers
they know the bit. They know what the scammers pursue. So good job, scammer or person from Twitter.
Yeah. Good job, because like I don't know what you want from me. I'm this close to blocking you, but I kind of want to see where it goes. Okay, so that was our Anthony Dates Robots segment. I don't like, usually I try to come up with some sort of fun narrative as it's happening and like get them to fall into like a like story trap of sorts, you know. Like that one, I'm just like, you know what, I don't know, it's just funny enough.
This is just going every direction, and they're following up with whatever I'm saying, so let's just see where this goes.
Yeah, so it's fun enough to be like, hey, I'm gonna show this to the world, and like we'll see what happens. And you know, maybe there'll be a part 2, maybe there won't, we'll find out. But let me know what you think of the Anthony Dates Robots below. I haven't posted this one on Twitter yet. I probably should, so you can see all of the text in, because it's so weird.
It is wily.
Yeah. So Steven, segment number two. Segment number two, I'm gonna say it's Steven, we have theme songs. We have theme songs for this, and normally you do like a very cool like vocal thing every time we get into this segment. But
it's like a very intense, like
yeah, it's
almost Axl Rose-ish. I
it
think
is,
it's like,
and I always it always gets me pumped up, and
Mhm.
I love it. But I always want to like I want to let the new viewers and the new listeners have an idea of like what the segment is. Will you explain like what the Pitches Get Stitches segment is?
well, pitches get stitches when my best friend over here, Anthony, has this beautiful thought in his head and he just puts it together and then slaps the daddiest of puns on the end of it. And it is just a gorgeous story.
That's
So late. I mean, that's basically a quick summation of what it is it not?
no, no, you got it.
But they're always fun. They're always great. So, ladies and gentlemen, pitches get stitches. That's how it goes every time. I'm almost positive.
I'm probably that's always what you do. I've never heard you do anything different. Actually, I keep using that same. We have a soundboard here at
that was the clip of me doing it the first time. I was wearing the same shirt.
Yeah, you mimic it really well though every time.
I do.
It's really cool. So, dear viewer, I want you to imagine it's Steven and I always like, of course, right? But it's not. Our names aren't Steven and Anthony because like we have to branch out a little. Otherwise, you're always gonna know we're gonna survive. We're not Ernest, you know. Like we want you to, you know, we're not like Pee Wee Herman. I wish we were. That'd be great if we could be that, you know. But I want us to be able to like just be like, oh, imagine like alternate versions of us in different like the situations. So in this situation, right? Steven goes missing, but Steven's my friend in this. I'll say my name is Carl and Steven's name is Ed. You know, like I'm like
those are like opposites of who we are in real life. I mean,
yeah. So it's like, you know, so it's like Carl and Ed. And I'm just like, so like my friend goes missing and I go and I'm like looking for him and I go to his house and he's not there. But I'm like, you know what? I have a key. I know where he keeps his key under this rock or whatever. You know, like in this fake
his hide a rock,
little hide a rock. You know, and like so I get in his house and I'm looking
hide a key,
and I see that it's disheveled as hell. Like it's just like something is amiss, right? And I can see them like, okay, most of this is lived in, like it's like this is how Steven liked his house, and like it's a little confusing and like disconcerting. I'm just like, wait a second, like what is all this stuff? And I noticed like there are newspaper clippings and it's the like Charlie Kelly, like it's like the weird
what was it? I forget what the name was, but yes.
Yeah, but it's like you can see like there's just like the, you know, yarn all over the place. He's trying to figure something out. There's obviously a weird the serpent
yeah.
There's obviously like a weird mental spiral, like a collapse that's been happening and I wasn't aware of. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, like what happened? Where's my friend? What was he learning? What was he figuring out? And I start like looking into it and I see like clues. So I'm just like, I start following these clues. I'm just like, I need to find my friend. So I'm trying to call everyone. No one has seen him. So I find a book and it's just like this, like a journal. And I go to like the final page or like not, you know, but like the last page that has anything written on it. And it's just like hastily scribbled, you know, just notes with a phone number. So I call the phone number and they tell me that like it's it's this cabin, you know, it's a place that rents out cabins and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, did you rent out a cabin to this guy? His name is Ed, you know, and like I'm talking to him and they're like, yeah, we're not supposed to give you that information. So I hang up and I call back and I'm like, hi, this is Ed. I rented a cabin from you. You know,
they immediately fall for it, obviously.
You know, like a liar. Yeah, but
like a liar.
Yeah, it's John Mulaney. Like, yeah. But I call. So eventually, I'm like, oh, you know, I think I took a wrong turn. Maybe I went to the wrong address. Can you just like confirm the address of this cabin again? So they give me the address. And I'm just like going through and I'm like, it's a long journey to get to this cabin. So I'm like bringing this notebook and I'm reading it. And I'm realizing that like it's your diary and your feet. Like I can see you slowly going insane through this diary. So I'm reading it and I'm realizing that like you're discovering something and you think there's like something coming and you're starting to get really paranoid. And I'm just like, oh my God, my friend is in trouble. I don't know if it's like drug related. I don't know what's going on. Like maybe he's addicted to something. Like this is unhinged stuff. Like what is going on, you know? So finally I'm just like, I need to find him. I need to get Ed. So like I get to the cabin. I see your Jeep there. I see, you know, I'm just like, yes,
he's here,
you know? And I like go into the cabin and I don't see anything for a minute. And then I noticed that one of the windows just is shattered completely. And like the whole like back, there's like a sliding glass, door, like just shattered. And I'm just like, what the hell? I'm looking around and I see on the ground just like parts of your leg. And I'm just like
Oh
it's
no.
like a From Dusk Till Dawn-esque like cut of tone where it's like it goes from like weird and like you don't know where this is going. It's a little interesting. I'm like kind of searching. It's more of like a road trip, like where's my friend? Kind of light, but like also like concerned, but not that dark. But then suddenly there's a piece of a body on the ground, just like part of a body. And I'm just like just broken, just like in tears, just like what is happening? And like I turn the corner and I see like other pieces of you on the ground. And then as I like enter the room, I see your like torso, but something grows from underneath your torso. And it's just tendrils and like tentacles. And it turns out that like you were right about everything that was going on, and there are actually aliens on Earth
And
trying
they've completely overtaken my
yeah,
form.
and they've been taking over the human forms, and it and they're here for a specific reason, and like it drove you crazy trying to figure out what to do about this, and you went to a cabin alone to try to like come to terms with this whole situation, and they found you because they don't want anyone to know. So the movie so then my character has to do something about it and like fight your character as an alien and all this. But the movie is called Alienated.
That's awesome.
It's called Alienated.
And just like put like little dots in between 8 and Ed, so it
Alienated.
still looks like alienated.
It's
But
so
like,
yeah.
oh, dude, I love it.
So ridiculous. So, but I was because like I was at work and I was just thinking, I was like, what? Like, why don't we see?
So that movie though, that movie would be called Alienated, but then you would
For
space
sure.
it so that people almost like Jeepers Creepers be eating you.
Yes.
It'd be a situation where dots, Alien ate Ed. This is what
Yes.
he was going for.
Exactly. Yeah. So like
I love it.
It would be fun and like creepy and funny, but also like, oh my God, at the end, it's like this is nuts, which would be really cool. But I was just thinking about like we don't have enough fun alien movies, and I just like I feel like they're also with the
we need an alien horror movie revival.
yes.
Is what we
Well,
need.
yeah. My girlfriend's afraid of aliens, and I think that's probably why I'm thinking about it a lot. Because I'm just like, because I never thought of aliens as being like scary, And I was like, but they are. If you think about, like, if you watch, like, there have been these. I hate that people lie, Stephen. I hate that people lie, and I wish there was a way I could fix it. Because like I've seen recently, there have been clips of like these people in like Las Vegas who are like, there's something in our backyard. We think it's an alien. It's like 9 feet tall, and it's like this. And like they seem. I mean, they don't seem like they're very concerned. And I was like, you'd imagine.
Oh, dude, if I saw a 9-foot alien in my backyard, I don't even know if I'd be calling 911 first. I think my first person would be you, obviously.
Yeah.
Just someone that would believe my genuine horror. So that 100%. Way I can make sure that someone believes me of what's happening right now.
Yeah,
but like
100%, dude. But like but these people say it, and I'm just like, I want I want to believe that there are 9-foot aliens walking around in people's backyards. I don't know why they would be there, but like that's cool. I want to think that like, hey, yeah, maybe we're it's gonna happen. It'll happen while I'm alive. We'll make contact.
Man, what if 9-foot aliens are Bigfoots, like studying us in nature?
Why wouldn't Bigfoot be an alien? Yeah. Like
we can never find them when we're looking for them, but we stumble upon them when
well, and for some reason we always think of like reptilian creatures when we think of aliens, and it could easily be mammalian type of
I mean if for what we've experienced in our existence is that mammals have found a way to become the highest on the food chain. Like
I mean, not to mention like, okay, if you imagine like light travel and light speed travel, as insane and like seemingly impossible as it is, basically what we have to do is find a way to become light and travel within various places on that light spectrum, or like, as the light travels, you just like, I am light here, now I'm light here, and you're like bending space and such, so it's like, would you make a ship that does that, or do you find a way, or do you find a way to do that yourself, like organically. What if there is a creature that can do that, and what if that creature happens to be mammalian looking? So like instead of using spaceships, maybe it's just kind of like jumping around rainbows. Basically, it's just becoming light, traveling to different places, and then it's not going to be seen very easily on camera as it's traveling and capable of like shifting and vibrating at specific
creatures. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull a fast one here, and I'm gonna evolve this segment from that spawned from Pitches Have Stitches into monster test, because with all this talk about aliens, I think we have done Bigfoot before, but I want to revisit Bigfoot. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we get together, we do the best, we always complete and finish the monster test, and that's how the theme song goes every time. I assure you, perfectly.
Don't worry, it's
so Bigfoot. Okay, I like this idea what you're saying, and then I had recently saw. Granted, it's Tom DeLonge, but I saw a video about him saying,
so it's true.
So it's absolutely true. Yeah. I mean, who would quit Blink-182 to go study aliens for a decade?
Unless it's accurate.
Unless it's accurate. But he was explaining how we keep viewing aliens as extraterrestrials, but more than likely they're extra dimensional. Like time is parallel, blah, 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 blah. So Bigfoot could be even accidental lapses in time of like previous man. Like, what if we're seeing like, Neanderthal in a blip and then it disappears because time is like coalescing and collapsing on itself. That's one. But then two, maybe Bigfoot is just an alien, like you're saying, that just blips into the area, kind of scopes it out. I don't something with that. Yeah, something with that level of tech, like can make himself look like fake in a photo real quick. Like,
I mean, it's literally as he's like blipping away every time. So it's like, we're gonna get a picture of him.
Why is it always blurry? It's always blurry because he's mid blip.
Yeah, he's mid blip. You don't blip with the Squatch.
Or it's always blurry because it's always blurry because he's not part of this universe, so it can't like tether like the particles to create the image on the other side.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's what. So Bigfoot. What do we know about him? We know that he's a giant. We know that he smells. I know this. At least the Floridian version does. But I think that's just the Floridian version of everything, right?
Okay, Steven. What about this though?
Ooh,
how funny would it be? How funny would it be, and how perfect would it be if Bigfoot was an alien wearing a costume?
He's just they're big. It's a Chewbacca costume.
It's a Chewbacca costume.
They love Star Wars.
But think about how funny that is, because it's like, look, we can do this interdimensional travel thing. We go really fast. We'll blip right out of here. You'll never see us. We have this crazy high tech. We're gonna wear this monkey costume to fit in the same way we go into the jungle. They're like, it's just aliens trying to fit in. They're like, oh no, we fit in. Look at the feet. They're great.
Look at the feet. They're huge. So we made the costume a little big, Hank. Next time, can we like dial it down? Like maybe like, when we go to Florida, just make sure it's a little smaller, because it's got to look different. It can't be the same thing that we saw up in Washington. Floridians, there's a damn skunk ape in the Everglades.
Every cryptid is just an alien doing its best job to blend in with us. It's like, no. All
right, so the people from New Jersey, they really are hung up on this whole devil thing. So okay, let's just show up like a dude. What did we just like end all monster tests?
It's like, okay. They're spotting us every time. What don't they pay attention to? Well, there are bugs on their planet. What do you mean bugs? Like insects? Oh yeah, there's some that fly. Like what? Well, like moths. Oh yeah, make me a moth suit.
Oh my god,
a giant moth.
I was also thinking too, like the aliens like flipping through like our programming and being like, Godzilla, oh man, Godzilla's terrifying, but that Mothra seems like a really good guy. If I show up as their hero Mothra, their savior, they'll definitely welcome me.
They're gonna welcome us with open arms, just right on the back of our giant wings. Yeah, no, it's like I think
we just ended monster tests forever. I think
what we did is we solved aliens as our monster. Like that's, like at least we did the monster of aliens. Because like how funny is that?
Oh my god! Like just these horrible, they're not horrible. They're great costumes. They've been studying our Hollywood programming, but
hey Craig, how else can we get on their good graces? Well, they don't like losing loved ones. Bring them back. We have the tech.
For some reason, it's acting fun. Oh, zombies! I went softer with that. I was like ghosts. I was like,
oh, okay. I went pure zombie with that.
You went straight for zombie. We have the deck. Bring them back. Turns out whatever they got going on in that brain of theirs does not come back.
And
now there's a virus.
Well, okay, we'll make sure that when they come back, they're thinking they need brains. Okay,
tons of brains. Tons of brains.
I love how.
Oh man, this is a great movie.
Which thing?
This whole thing would be a great movie. Just two aliens trying to figure out how to like become friends with humans.
It would be such a fun. Yes, dude. It would be such a funny just anthology of them trying just little things.
Like a quick sketch to cut away to even would be hilarious. Like attempt 623 to make contact with the humans.
Actually, I mean, along with Stakeout and Bury Your Dead. It would be funny to put that as part of an anthology, just all their little segments and as one big anthology segment in a big anthology.
Oh, for sure.
That would be awesome. I mean, because that's really the dream. Because I started thinking I want to make a vampire, a vampthology, but then I was it would be fun to do monsters. We could do just all these different monsters, and why not add aliens and with silly stuff like that in there?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
The tone would be it would be so much fun to play with. But that is our Pitches Get Stitches and a monster test segment.
Spawn, and that was a genuine spawn off of that, because we weren't sure what we were going to do for monster test this week.
Yeah, we were. You can check after the song. You can hear us trying to plan that and failing. Still don't know what wyverns are. I some kind of dragon. It's a wife dragon. I don't know.
From what I know about wyverns, and I'm sure the fantasy people can chime in, but dragons have 4 physical legs plus wings.
Okay.
Wyverns' arms are wings.
Okay.
So wyverns are basically they're 2-legged, and I think that So I think that's the main difference between dragons and wyverns. But comment down below and let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know if you know what a wyvern is, and what's the origin of the name wyvern. Because our theory was that it was someone being mean about their wife. I don't know, but their wife Fern.
Oh, that's my wife Vern, and she's not a dragon. She's not quite a dragon, okay? But she's close.
Dear viewer, dear listener, thank you for being patient and hanging out with us during all of our various segments. I hope you're enjoying some of them. Please comment below and let us know which ones are your favorites and what you want to see more of. One of our favorites, and we've had people request this one in the past. It's we do something where we go through the DC Comics Encyclopedia and we look for various lesser known characters that are unknown to us, and we try to guess who they are and what they do. Mostly it's just a game of seeing if we can come up with fun characters and then learning a little bit about characters we've never heard of. That being said, Steven, please hit us with the sweet Comic Conjectures theme song.
Are you here for a lecture, Hannibal Lecter? No, you're here for Anthony and Steven's Comic Conjectures. Had a little bit too many sounds there, too many, but it's all good. And that's the whole theme song, guys.
Every time he hits it just like that. So it's perfect. I mean, I like that we're so meta about it, where you're oh, it's off, but it's not, because it was what you intended.
It was literally just what it was.
So what we do is we go through the DC Comics Encyclopedia, I have it right here, and we go through the glossary. Steven, give me a letter.
I'm going to say the letter X.
Okay, X is gonna be tough. Let's see what we have here. There are literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5. There are 5 names in this whole thing here.
So what you're telling me is we need to come up with a character with the letter X in their name and pitch it to DC, because we have
absolutely true.
There's only 5 competitors.
Now in the DC Comics universe, knowing that Batman has all this rogues gallery of ridiculousness, the Suicide Squad is what it is, and James Gunn is showing more and more ridiculous characters that from this. How is there not a Xylophone Man already? I wish I would have said something, because why do these Lawrence Fishburne moments happen, dude? Because I was hoping for Xylophone Man. That's what I was hoping was going to happen when I said X. Okay, Steven, hit me with it. What's Xylophone Man? Hero, villain?
So Xylophone Man is, in his mind, a hero.
Right.
But to everyone around him, they just don't like what he's putting out. I mean, his noise... He's never in key. He's hitting notes in random order. He's not he's kind of jumping around, not really sure where he wants to go in life. Xylophone Man is a would-be hero, almost like when Deadpool was struggling to prove himself as a hero. He's not, he wants to be Captain America, but he is nowhere near it.
I like the idea that Xylophone Man, every time he hits one of the notes, something happens, but he doesn't know what or where. But like in the world, so like when he hits it, it's just
an event happens.
Something fantastic happens, like magic happens. Like he hits it, and like suddenly, like someone gets a bouquet of flowers, and they're like, "Where did this come from?" Just it's like just, like it made my day.
He's like the reason for everything magical that happens in the world, basically.
But he doesn't know it because it never happens in his vicinity. Like he's never there to see it, but he's passionate about the xylophone and also justice. So
eventually, if I hit this thing enough, the world will be a better place.
Well, I think in his mind, he's annoying bad guys to death. Where he's just like, if I'm gonna do this until you stop robbing this bank, and people are like, okay, okay, yes, here's the money.
And if you were making a comic book, so like I imagine like when he's fighting all of his villains, like like how you would show this in comic form is he's like hitting the bells and he thinks he's destroying this small town like criminal, but like behind him is a TV with like like Australia. There's like all these amazing things happening. Like this like huge surplus of food is found and feeds all the homeless and blah, blah, like and does, like he's just like saving the world and all he's doing is trying to stop this guy from stealing a candy bar. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And that's what I think that's what Xylophone Man would do. So let's check. Oh, wait, he's not a character. We just invented one. We did it, Steven. We invented a DC character. Okay, let's do a different letter since Z only or X only has 5. F?
I think F's a good one.
So normally when we do this segment, we don't just make up a random character of our own without a name. We go from a name and we try to figure it out. But kind of goes to show you, like, if you improvise enough and just play with,
just play with it
and come up with fun stuff. All right, Steven, let's go with, do you know who Fatality is?
Oof. With a name like Fatality, I don't know who that is, like from DC. I'm going to obviously guess villain. I mean, Fatality, no way that's a hero. At best, it's an anti-hero or like a Punisher-esque character. Right. But I'm going to go full on villain, Fatality, and I'm guessing a serial killer of some sort.
That's probably fair. Okay, if we're going for guesses here, right? Like, what's Fatality's power, if there's a power?
So Fatality, when he was a child in the early 90s, loved Mortal Kombat, the arcade system. I mean, who didn't? But if you remember as a kid, man, was it hard to input those fatalities sometimes. I mean, like you would try to, and like the pressure, the time, the lights are down. Like, what do I do? Hold block up. What's going on? So like this pressure just pushed this guy over the edge. So now whenever he finds his victim, the lights dim and he like plays like a finish him, and he always makes sure to execute his foe.
He always finishes. Does he always do one of the finishing moves from Mortal Kombat? Does he?
So it started off that way, but then Mortal Kombat just got way too creative in their future games, and he just couldn't compete anymore. Right, so now he kind of he sticks to the classics, is what he calls them. So he does like the Kano heart rip, the spine rip from Sub.
Does he lick it, or is that just like
he might?
Is that just in my brain? Did I make that up? Because I always imagine he rips it and goes like that. Maybe I just made that up in my head. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
It also could have just been bad graphics back in the day. True. Like, I mean, you never know.
I don't like that was.
I love how Sub-Zero's was like a spine rip. Like you would think it was like freezing, but it was always like him like pushing in and like. I mean, he did have the deep freeze from Mortal Kombat too, but.
Yeah, it's weird how like they look like they just used real pictures of people, you know, and and it's also weird that they really murdered those people for the fatality.
They had to. I mean, that's how you get it right. And that's how Fatality was born.
That's right. So yeah, I imagine it's the same thing. I do want to hear. Okay, since this is the only other one we're doing, Steven, I do want to hear, what do you think Fatality would be if Fatality were a hero?
Okay, so Fatality. Yes. Was the first word that was uttered to him when he found out his mother and father were slain. So that word, like when he was 4 or 5 years old, is like what stuck with him. And like the word fatality, more like those words surrounding death, just bothered him to the point where like he had to brand himself as like fatality, like just to own that and own death itself. So like he's in this ever pursuit of like ending death for humanity, and like like wants to like overthrow the realm of living and dead.
Ooh, I love that. I also, what if it was like a character, like what if it's that character, but they literally are always reborn wherever they were born? So like if someone kills them, they're always,
it's like a spawn point.
They have a spawn point. I like the idea of a spawn point. I think that would be really cool to be like, he does have fear. He doesn't want to die. It obviously hurts, and he has to, he pops up wherever his spawn point was. but it's like, he has to go on a mission. He's trying to
He's
like get revenge for his parents, and he's going
because he's obviously defeated
yes.
death. So like how can he expand this to the rest of the world?
Exactly.
How can he overthrow what is designed to be?
I like it. Okay, let's see. Fatalities. A villain. First appearance is in Green Lantern in the third series, number 83. The eldest child of a royal family of planet Xanshi, Yura Sinril was sent by her parents to study with the legendary warlords of Okara. All right, so let me see what her abilities are. She's one of the most skilled martial artists and weapons masters in the galaxy. So she's like a fighter who can obviously kill anyone. After nearly perishing in battle with the Emerald Warrior, the revenge-obsessed Fatality returned to Earth to confront Stewart and apparently died while trying to kill him. Xanshi was accidentally destroyed by the arrogance of Green Lantern John Stewart. Oh man, so she vowed vengeance against the whole Green Lantern Corps. So she is like, she's a revenge monster who's really good at fighting, basically. So like we kind of nailed it. Like you kind of really.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
That was pretty close.
It's basically they saw Black Widow and they're like, hey, galactic level Black Widow. We're just gonna, she's gonna
can't fail.
Can't fail.
That's a hit every time for sure. But so I think we got pretty close. I like ours. I like the spawn point. I like I like the initial one with like the Mortal Kombat fatalities. That was fun. I really like our Xylophone. I think that this was a really good comic, Conjectures. So Steven, these have been some of our favorite segments that we've done on our show, and like I'm glad that people like them. What do you think? Do you like when we do our segments? Should we keep it like? I
do, and one of my personal favorites, and I know this one is it has to be the most organic one out of all four.
Yeah.
But one of my favorites is Pitches Get Stitches, is because like for me, like I get to see the dad pun happen in real life, and I'm just so like I'm like right there with the audience. It's just I'm recording with you.
So I love that too. The only thing I don't love about it is like I feel like I talk too much, so I'm just like, I'm talking.
No, I'm intrigued the whole time. You're very entertaining. So
thank you. But I'll tell you, I have an alternate version of Pitches Get Stitches that I do want to start doing. Where it's not going to be every time, but sometimes what I want to do is I want to literally stitch the pitch with you, where what I want to do is, instead of making it a joke, which I love, like I like it that way because like I think it gives you and the audience like something fun to like expect and work toward, and it's like, it's
waiting for the punchline. Basically,
it's a fun, and like maybe you beat me to it, and that's cool and it's fun. You're like, I know where he's going with this, so I like that. However, I also want to do I want to show that the way I come up with those is exactly how we do comic conjectures. Like I think of a random word, or I hear a random word, and I think, oh wait, that can be a pun like this, and then I come up with the story after the fact and kind of like
fill it in.
So I was like, it would be kind of cool to come to you and be like, all right, I have an idea. Like I have a word. I know that alienated could easily be alienate ed. What is this movie? And then be like, it'd be funny, and then we can like.
So start with the gag.
Start with the gag, in which like I know it's not going to be as funny. You don't get that punch, and I'm not saying we'll do that every time, but I'm saying like it would be fun to build the story together,
to show the process of like spitballing, basically, and.
Yeah, because like I love that stuff. I like doing stuff like that with you, and like it's
I mean, like it's something that you and I do very often in everything that we do. Like Deathless is Deathless is definitely.
I wrote everything, Steven.
You wrote everything in the story, but like Barreled was a very back and forth creation. Like my first versions of Barreled were not nearly as cool as the Barreled it is, and like. Just like ideas of like characters and stuff like that, we do like we bounce them back and forth between each other.
That's why like I love the way we work, and I think neither of us, we're both very like humble. Like we both want to be kind of modest and like give each other the credit and be like, it was all Steven's the best. So, like, and you're like, he's the one, and it's like neither of us like. Yeah, we would love to be together, like be Stan Lee or whatever, but like we're not gonna be Stan Lee in like screwing our friend and like not giving the credit where credit's due, So it's like that's why I love doing this together, because I never feel like either of us is like, oh well, my name has to be first and you're and like
and it's just, and that's like what a lot of like our comic like production is too. Is like we just want our names on the book. Like we could try to outsource letterers and colorists and things of that nature, but like just our names on the book, and there's no like specification on the cover of like it's just I don't know. I like it.
Stuff. Yeah, it makes me happy, dude. So every week we every week we get together and we talk a little bit about what we've done. We talk about our various issues, things that got in the way, the kind of week we had. This week we mostly focused on the fun segments for the hoping you guys enjoy it, and everyone's just like shows up for this episode. Our last episode, I was kind of busy this week, and I didn't really.
It was my fault too. I didn't want to overshare on Twitter, and I really wanted to share Critically Stupid.
I know. Yeah.
So I really wanted to push that. And I just didn't want to overshare ours. So I still sent ours too, but like I focused on Critically Stupid. So
yeah, and that's great too, because that show did really well. It's like it got over 100 views just over the weekend. So that's
so awesome.
If you haven't seen Steven's episode of Critically Stupid, it's amazing and hilarious. It's definitely one of my favorites, and you should check it out below. I'll post the link. You should watch every episode, just saying, but if you don't, just go watch that one. It's worth it.
It's such a good podcast to put on when you're working on something, or like it really is. The characters are all so fun. You never know who's going to come up with what to do what. And it's great.
It's so ridiculous. It's so much fun to do. But Steven, so every week, then at the end of the episode, we for a second say, what are we going to do this week? What are you going to work on?
So I have plenty to work on this week, which is actually kind of exciting going into it. Like having so many roughs done is I can like really hyper focus detailing stuff. So I'm going to progress on those pages that I have roughed out, and there's a lot of good ones. So there's a lot of details I want to add to some of those. So I'm excited for it.
Like Steven, like those roughs look so cool. So like if you don't
know,
you
like the way I laid out that when they're like on the ground in the fire, this and that, all that, like that page is kind of crazy.
So cool. I love it because like it reads really well, and I can see that there's a lot of room for like dialogue and like cool, like sound effects.
Yeah, I left like spaces in certain areas.
Yeah, it's perfect. But like so Steven's he's roughing out. He's just drawing like the first draft of the pages, and we get to see what they look like, before they're, perfect. So it's just like, oh, it's really cool. It's, it's fun to see the book in this form. I mean, let's just publish it like that, Steven. It's worth it.
Just roughs.
Color these roughs. Let's do it. Whatever. It's proving that we're human. We're gonna let's just like publish our roughs. Like, good for you. Hey, I couldn't do this. Shut up. But anyway, so this week I'm going to do my best to color as much as I can. I'm shooting for 3 pages this week. Just to like catch, because I have like 4, I think, maybe 5 now. But like I'm gonna shoot for 3 this week. I'm gonna see what I can get done. I should be able to do it. I'm gonna work hard and try to like really focus tomorrow.
And I have been more kind because there's been a lot more action in these pages, so there's not nearly as many small details in the background. So
I'm gonna do 3 this week. So how many pages you're gonna do? You're gonna shoot?
I have 4 that are rough, and I've already started. I'm like halfway through one of them, like finals. So
awesome.
I'm working on that one, and then I just gotta rough the 2 like dialogue heavy pages, basically.
That's amazing. So that's it for our show today. Thank you all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're only listening on one of the various podcasting apps, thank you. Thank you so much. But please go to youtube.com/We Have Issues podcast. Check us out there. Just hit the subscribe button. If you're watching this right now and you haven't subscribed, it's over here somewhere. Please subscribe. It means everything to us. Hit the like button. Share us with your friends. I know you probably hear that a lot, and you probably see us sharing it, and you're like, that's enough. It's not. We only know like 6 people. We need you. We need you. We need your enemies. We need your best friends. We need your grandparents. Get your grandparents. Take their phone. We've
neglected the grandparents.
They don't know better. Everyone neglects the grandparents. We need to stop. We're here for your grandparents. We're building a colony. We need your grandparents. We need your cousins. We need everyone you don't want to see in Thanksgiving to follow and subscribe to our podcast. So like, okay, use that as an excuse to get people to walk away. People are talking to you and they're like, oh, interesting weather out here. You're like, oh, interesting podcast you can subscribe to, and show them. And don't relent. Never relent. Just
let them walk away in fear.
Walk away in fear. Let our podcast be the final thing they hear from you. Like the last breath that they take is going to be our podcast on there.
Convince the rest of the world never to open their mouths to strangers again.
That's right. Make them tremble in fear for all of us. It's for all of us in the colony, because none of us want to talk to those strangers. And if they talk to you, tell them about us and make them fear us. But we love you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for supporting us. It means so much to Steven and I. Steven, you want to say anything to the people?
As per usual, I love you guys so much. And thank you so much for supporting us each and every week. Like, especially like the colonists, like we need to do a raffle this week. Maybe we'll do one. We got to do one for the people, because there are definitely people that followed last week's episode's guidelines.
Oh yeah. We're going to do it. So
we'll do a raffle.
We'll do it next week. Let's just say next week. This week we had a huge show. We had to do every segment this week, so we had a big show. But next week we're gonna do a raffle. We're gonna give away a bunch of free stuff. Probably add some like extra silly stuff. If you didn't see, I'll say if you didn't see the giveaway, okay. If you didn't see the giveaway information in last week's episode, go watch last week's episode. Check it out, and you still have time to enter the raffle. Well, because we haven't done it yet. We're gonna do it on the show next week. So go do that now. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. We love you and we appreciate you. Oh baby, oh baby. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Stevie Wildcard.
This has been We Have Issues. See you next time.
Boom.
We're gonna have a big show ahead of us, Steven.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to not like derail us too much so we can just flow. I'm not sure if you're doing all 4 segments, but
okay, wait. So I have Anthony Dates Robots, Pitches Get Stitches, Comic Conjectures. What was the other one we were talking about?
Monster Test.
Oh shit, I forgot the Monster Test. I didn't
just think of a random monster together real quick. On the count of 3, say a monster. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Wyvern.
Cyclops.
I mean, both kind of medieval in nature.
Yeah, we both went like random.
Random like fantasy.
I don't know much about wyverns. That's why I was like, the wyvern, the wife fern. I don't know.
Because wyvern would probably stem from whiff, right? Like the original.
I think so. Probably. It's probably sexist in some way.
Let's skip wyvern. Let's go. That's what I'm saying. What we'll do is we'll do the introduction. We'll do a quick recap of what we accomplished this week, and then we'll just jump right in.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down, Steven. You always do this. You're always like, this is what we'll do. And I'm like, oh, is it Steven? Is it what we'll
But what I'm telling you is I'm not going to derail it, even though I'm literally derailing it by explaining to you the process of which you've already planned.
This is what we do, Steven. This is why we have issues. All right, let's see. Okay. We'll cross the monster bridge when we come to it. So episode 146. Okay. Hello,